Hello and welcome back to Bunnex Investment Group. Today we are going to be analyzing the pairs that we'll be focusing on in the next trading week that will be starting in a few hours. Before we jump into the whole video, if you haven't done so, please hit that subscribe button. So today we are going to be looking at Euro USD, USD CHF, Euro GBP, then the US index, of course, NZD CAD, and odd JPY, as well as GBP USD. So this is actually to give you a guide on how you are going to be looking for your trades or a bias. They are not trading signals per se, because we will have to look for confirmations before we take out our trades. So we are going to start with the euro against dollar, and as we can see, it gave a beautiful flow. Unfortunately, it did not give us the exact side that we had analyzed in the past week. In the past week, we expected this pair to go back up so that it would give us an M on the daily time frame, since we had 1, 2, and 3 levels going up. So we expected to see a multi-month M. However, the market makers decided to go down straight away. Therefore, we will try to follow what the market is trying to tell us, because it's always wise to trade in line with the market makers. So as we can see, you can see that from this point, which is the highest point from the daily time frame, we had 3 levels up to this point, and I'm going to mark out so that it will be clear for you. So the first level was from this point to that point, and the second level was this drop from this point, and we had consolidation here, which became the second level, and we had the third level up to this point. So from that point, we had our reset. This was our reset, and the count began. So we had the first level, there was consolidation signifying a peak, then first level, then the second day of drop was this, from this point to that point was its consolidation, and then the last level. So this is now a sign that we are now going down on this pair. However, there is still room for us to see this pair going back to this level, since we haven't had the M on the daily time frame. But I would like to see how this pair will what will occur at our reset point, which is 61.8%. We are likely, if we have rejections on this level, which is our high probability reset point, 61.8, we may see continuation of the downtrend. We may see continuation of the downtrend, whereby the market will give us something of this side, of this structure. So we will have the first set of 3s, the second set of 3s, and expecting the last set of 3s. So that is what I will be looking for on euro against dollar. And as I said earlier on, it's not a signal, but just to give you a bias. Then USD CHF is actually moving in the same manner. As we can see, this is H4 time frame, and from the H4 time frame, we have already had 1 push up, and this is all consolidation and the second push. If we go on the H1 time frame, you can see that on the H1 time frame, we had the first level, the second level, and then the third level, and this was now consolidation for reset. And from that consolidation for reset, we also had 3 levels going up. As you can see, from this point of reset, we had the first rise, consolidation, then the second rise, then a little bit of consolidation, and then the third rise. So I'm also expecting a similar move like what we've seen on euro against dollar, whereby I would see a reset point at 61.8 retracement level, whereby we have a restart of the cycle. That is what I will be expecting to see on USD against Swiss franc. This is what I will be expecting to see, and I will have to find sufficient confirmations to take that trade. Then on euro against GBP, as you can see on the H4 time frame, we had on the H4 time frame, this was the first level of drop plus its consolidation. Then after that, we had the second level of drop and a small pullback where we had a reset on the H1 time frame, and then we had this last level on the H4 time frame. So going on the H1 time frame, we can see that on the last H4 time frame, we had a beautiful multi-session M, the first drop, right, consolidation, and another drop. As you can see, we had this drop. From that drop, we had another drop up to this point. Then we had our last drop, meaning that this pair has completed its cycle on the H1 time frame. So with that being said, I'm expecting this pair to push down to these levels or retest this level before going up, where I'm expecting to see a reset of the H4 time frame. I'm expecting to see a reset of the H4 time frame. Mind you, all this is basically being derived from the market maker method. So I'm expecting to see a rise whereby I would have caught the buy at this region or these levels. Then the USD index is actually a direct correlation of USD CHF and an inverse correlated pair of USD Euro USD. And if you've analyzed Euro USD, you would not spend much time to analyze the USD index. Why? Because as you can see on the H1 time frame, we have the same move like what we had on Euro USD. We had the first rise, right, the second rise, and then the third rise. From there, we had a long consolidated reset point. From that reset point, we had the first rise, a consolidation, the second rise, a consolidation, and then lastly the third rise, right? So I'm now expecting this pair to this asset to keep on moving up. My bias is still going up since we have already had 2 sets of 3s on the H1 time frame. So I'm now expecting another set of 3s to go up to complete the cycle. Then on NZD card, this pair was one of the best performers in the signals group in the past week in our VIP signals. It was actually derived as a multi month M on the daily time frame. as you can see, we had the first rise, second rise, and third rise on the daily time frame, and I was expecting to see it go down a bit more. However, there was still a little bit of consolidation since we were just starting a new month, so I'm still expecting to see it drop. We'll have to see what happens when the market opens, but the bias is still to go down. Probably they will have to retest this high before taking this pair down, or they will just go straight away. So it will be basically wise for us to wait to see what will happen before taking any trade. Then on odd against JPY, as you can see, this is the H4 time frame, and from the H4 time frame you can actually see that it has made the impulses we require to deem a cycle complete. We had the first rise. After the first rise, we had this second rise, and after this second rise, we had the final push. And on our last week signal chart, we had this pair going down, and we expected it to go down a little bit further. However, they had a lot of consolidations before rising again, so I'm expecting to see a little bit of stop and rise, then drop. As you can see, we had a cycle completion. If this is not a reset of continuated rise, since on the daily time frame we haven't completed the cycle, we haven't actually we have completed the cycle, sorry. So they might want to consolidate a little bit further, so as to accumulate contracts before going down. So the bias is still to go down, and if you can enter short and have a lot of patience to wait for this pair to go down, that would be great. Then the last pair that will also be looking this week is GBP against US dollar, and from that pair you can see that we have had a lot of consolidations. On the daily time frame, we can see that GBP US dollar had this first impulse, then consolidation, and then the second impulse, which is clearly broken down in threes: the first, the second, and the third on the daily time frame, and then the last level on the daily time frame. As we say, 3 levels of H1 time frame actually makes up 1 level on the daily time frame. So this daily time frame level was actually broken down in H4, in 3 H4 time frame. We hit them. However, it had a lot of consolidation. You can see that there was the first impulse, a reset, the second impulse, and a reset. And on the last H4 level, going on the H1 time frame, we can see that we had the first level, the second level, and then the third level. This became our peak. However, from that peak they are failing to take off to go down. There has been consolidation for several weeks, and it's actually taking some patience. So on this pair I will be looking to take only safety trades, because I wouldn't want to be kept on something that it will not be moving as immediate. So basically these are the pairs that I will be looking for, and more will be shared in the VIP channel. If you haven't subscribed for the VIP channel, you can do so by first subscribing to the free channel. The link is down in the description below.